Now, viewers of this programme may be a little surprised to learn that our children or grandchildren can't study politics at GCSE because none of the examining bodies offer the exam. Well, students in Scotland can study politics at 16 in more detail, but not anywhere else. Now, this important fact was not brought to our attention by one of the BBC's expert Westminster correspondents, but by 3 teenage viewers from Oxfordshire who wanted specifically to study politics. Well, we sent Max Cotton along to see if he could help.
Hello, The Politics Show. We are a new pressure group called Politics GCSE. We are 3 A-level students who are campaigning for 14 and 16-year-olds to be able to do Politics GCSE.
Politics GCSE. We believe that young people and society would benefit if students had better political knowledge. I didn't know that you can't do GCSE politics, and I think that these boys might be onto something. I'd like to introduce you to my new best friends. This is John, and this is Josh, and this is Ben. Keep smiling, Ben. They wanted to do GCSE politics here at Lord William School in South Oxfordshire, but they couldn't because no examination boards in England and Wales offer GCSE politics anymore. Now, boys, what I think you need for your campaign is a big political hitter, support from a big political hitter, who maybe also had a reputation for being a political anorak when they were younger. Oh, Ben, who can that be? Who can we think of anyone? William Haig. Oh, now who's this?
Hello.
It's William Haig.
Hello.
Hello. Now, not even the politics show has the power to summon Mr. Haig here, but he's at this school even so, campaigning in the local Henley by-election. They teach politics in this school within the context of the citizenship curriculum, but that's not good enough for my boys, and this is a great chance to start lobbying.
Mr. Haig, in England and Wales, you are unable to do a GCSE in politics. You want young people to be interested in politics, so do you think there should be a GCSE available?
Well, there are pros and cons to that, I suppose. It's something I will take it back to our education team, my education colleagues, if you want me to put that idea to them.
We've got a hard job, haven't we, arguing against there being a GCSE politics. Will you help them, do you think, in their campaign?
It is a hard job to argue against it because I can see there are lots of good reasons for it. The drawback that springs to mind is that you have to fit another GCSE into the curriculum, that it is a crowded curriculum. You know, there are already lots of rules about what everybody has to study. It's quite difficult for schools to timetable a new thing and then to find the staff who would teach that particular course. So you can see that there are practical difficulties in such an idea. But the general objective of raising the consciousness of political debate and issues in schools and at all ages, I think that's absolutely right.
The boys and I have hit the streets of Westminster, and I'm taking them to see Nick Clegg, the leader of the Liberal Democrats. If this idea is going to fly, then they'll need unequivocal backing from at least one big party.
What we want to do is to get politics into the GCSE curriculum because at the moment there is no exam board that specialises in an exam for 14 to 16-year-olds.
Did you know that, Nick? Did you know you couldn't do GCSE?
No, I didn't. I mean, I think it's beyond everything else. I think it's great that you want to do it because, you know, we all talk here in Westminster about how people don't care about politics, don't give a damn about politics, don't know anything about politics. And I think it's great that you want to do it. But just tell me, was the citizenship courses that you've had in the past, were they not good enough to kind of cover what you're now looking for in a politics class?
Well, they were to an extent, but it wasn't enough.
Too general.
Yeah, it was very general.
Well, I'm very happy to write to Gordon Brown, Ed Balls on your behalf, not least to link it to a kind of review, if you like, of how the citizenship classes are working, because I'm not sure if I was a great supporter of them, still am, but I just don't think they're quite working. And if they're not working, maybe that actually strengthens your case to look at it radically and perhaps introduce, you know, politics classes instead.
Will you also write to the exam boards? Because they are the ones who are saying, look, there's not a demand here for this. One of the things that strikes us is that There's no demand because you can't do it for GCSE.
I'm very happy to do that. The only thing I would say as a politician, I think politicians are probably the worst people to campaign for politics to be taught in the classroom. As soon as we do that, everyone will say, oh, well, you're just doing that because you failed to get people interested in politics. And that's why it's really important that you make your voice heard on this programme, you know, in any other way that you can, so that everyone knows it's a bottom-up demand coming from you, not being imposed from the top. And I will do, you know, whatever I can to support you in your own campaign.
Guys, listen up. This afternoon we've got our meeting with Schools Minister Jim Knight. It's really, really important that we marshal our arguments, OK? So, Josh, what have you got?
Well, I've got an email here from one of the exam boards, and it clearly shows that when politics was a GCSE, it was incredibly dull.
Right.
So what we've got to do is make it more interesting.
We've got to be able to do that, absolutely. Ben, what have you got?
Well, we do citizenship at school. However, there's not a lot to do with politics. And I believe that a lot of people leave schools with a lack of political knowledge.
Yeah.
And a year later, they're supposed to be voting.
That's not great, is it? Good, OK. John, you've got some more GCSEs, yeah?
Well, yeah, you can do some really out there GCSEs at the moment. There's Gujarati, law, catering, tourism, or film studies. There's even something called preparation for life and work.
But no politics?
No.
Good, OK. I've spoken to some of the examining boards. They are not just going to roll over and give us GCSE politics. So this meeting is really important. Bit of pressure. Get to it. Well done. Well, the lads put their arguments to the Schools Minister, Jim Knight, and with us all slightly on the edge of our seats, he gave us the verdict.
Well, I think the next step is for these young people to ensure that there is genuinely a groundswell of demand to study GCSE politics that's not just located in the hotbed of political debate in Henley. So there are subject associations for citizenship teachers, there are politics teachers teaching politics A-level, if they can be talked to and see whether or not there's a demand in their schools. And then the young people themselves, through the National Youth Parliament, contact their local member of the Youth Parliament. They decide on an annual basis their priorities, and maybe they can be campaigning for it and building that groundswell of opinion as well, so that I can then go to the examination boards and say, hand on heart, there's a real demand for this, why don't you do it?
I'm just looking for something a tiny bit more concrete here. In an ideal world, do you think there should be a GCSE politics?
In an ideal world, I would love to see
20 hours.
Schools being able to offer the choice of GCSE politics to young people who then want to choose to study it, because getting more people interested and engaged with politics is a good thing for our country.
Right. Are you pleased with that, boys?
Very.
Yeah? Good. Great.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Minister, that's great. Guys, really well done, and never in my wildest dreams did I think we were going to do as well as that. You've got a government minister on your side, backing from another party leader, so are you pleased? Yeah?
Yeah.
Really, congratulations, well done. We'll look back at it in a couple of weeks' time and see how it goes, but well done, congratulations. Now, if you've got a political problem that you want sorted out, or an issue that you'd like aired, then contact me at The Politics Show and we will do our best to get politicians and government ministers on the case for you. This is going to be a new regular part of the programme. The contact details are on the bottom of your screen now. But bear in mind it needs to be something that directly affects you or your family. And we look forward to hearing from you.
And after Jim will fix it, Max will mend it. Right, well, the Shadow Education Secretary, Michael Gove, has since written to the boys and offered to meet them to talk it over further. He's even recommended a couple of books for them to read. You can find out which ones, actually, on our website. And to echo Max, do get in touch if you've got a political issue you want us to tackle. The addresses are on the screen there now. If you have sunshine today, enjoy it. That's all for this week. See you next Sunday. Bye-bye.